A very good evening and welcome to UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. with me, Sharon Chomjisha, and Galu on sign language. We'll take a look at our top stories of the day.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In UBC News tonight, President Museveni woos investors to Uganda at a Dubai expo. Premier Nabanja in Chwangali refugee settlement over land wrangles. Karamoja gets food relief from government. And in our sports news, Uganda Crested Cranes soar over Eswatini by 5-1 goals at Kosafa.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
Well, today in UBC News tonight, President Museveni has hailed the vision of the United Arab Emirates leaders for turning a desert into a center of affluence, adding that this should be a challenge to Africans. President Museveni said this during celebrations to mark the Uganda National Day at the sidelines of the Dubai Expo 2020 in the United Arab Emirates. Museveni also enumerated on the numerous investment opportunities available in Uganda to the UAE business community. We have details from Samuel Sendunu.
Uganda has marked the Uganda National Day in Dubai at the sidelines of the Dubai Expo 2020. The event was graced by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak from the United Arab Emirates. Addressing the gathering, President Museveni thanked the UAE for organizing this expo to share ideas on prosperity.
Business must result into profit. And in order to make profit sustainably, continuously, you need three elements. Element number one, you produce a good or a service.
Museveni disclosed that he was awestruck by the rate of development in Dubai on all fronts and tasked the Africans to draw inspiration.
The UAE are a challenge to Africa. They are a challenge to Africa because they have turned a desert, a dungu, into a center of affluence. Desert to affluence. I don't know what these Africans are thinking. To see a desert so affluent because of the vision of the leaders who did this.
On investment, Museveni spoke fondly about Uganda's investment spectrum, calling upon the Dubai business community to take advantage of the umpteen opportunities in Uganda.
Raw materials of crops for food, and crops for textiles, and crops for coffee. Coffee is not a food, but a stimulant, a beverage for beverages. All those products are there. You can put anything you want there, you can produce.
On his part, His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan Mubarak highlighted that Uganda and the UAE have over the years enjoyed good working relations, and they look forward to strengthening the ties.
Through Uganda's presence at the Expo 2020 Dubai and beyond, we also hope to expand the horizon of our partnership into new fields, practically across biodiversity agro-processing, renewable energy, and tourism.
The two leaders later toured the Ugandan pavilion at the main exhibition area, where different Ugandan entities are showcasing what the Pearl of Africa has to offer.
Uganda participation under the theme, right place, right time, underscores it as a country of many opportunities, from its unparalleled natural beauty, endowed with a diverse wildlife and landscapes, to its strategic investment opportunities across multiple sectors. And for that, I would like to extend our gratitude to you, Mr. President, and to the Commissioner General, my dear friend, Dr. Ali Karamoja, and his team, for Uganda's meaningful participation in this world event.
The expo was originally scheduled to be held from October 20th, 2020 to April 10th, 2021, but was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the event is running from 1st October 2021 to March 31st, 2022. So far, a total of 192 countries have confirmed their participation at this event, which is expected to attract 20 million visitors. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Thank you, Samuel Senono. In more stories, it is slightly more than 3 months since Robina Nabbanja officially took oath as the Prime Minister of Uganda. According to the observers and analysts, she has proved wrong those that doubted her capacity. Now, the leader of government business says she is on the path to improve quality service delivery and development in Uganda.
Her appointment to the position of Prime Minister took the country by surprise.
They never expected that he would maybe take such a decision.
Some despised her,
many things are going to change,
while others believed in her.
Most of us have the potential which is hidden, but all we need is to be given an opportunity.
And slightly more than 100 days later, those that believed in her may have had a point. Not only was Robina Nabbanja made to fit into the shoes of these gentlemen, she was made to walk in them.
Let us arise to welcome
as the first female Prime Minister of Uganda since independence.
Hand over report of the Prime Minister Emeritus.
It is a role she officially assumed on 22nd June 2021, taking over from Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda. This was just a day after taking oath at Kololo Independence Grounds.
I, Nabbanja Robina, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I shall faithfully exercise the functions of Prime Minister of Uganda.
Expectations of her from both the public and the appointing authority were just high.
Very straightforward. When we were having the by-election in Bunyoro, some people their eyes were not looking straight. Are you looking forward or you are looking? But Nabbanja, very, very, very straightforward.
With this kind of optimism, it was timely that she picked her bags, hit the road to embark on the new assignment. Fighting corruption and improving service delivery have since been top on her menu.
I'm also refusing the blankets. The blankets should go back to Kampala and we buy better things.
Nabbanja's rejection of substandard relief items delivered to Kasese flood victims was just in line with her advocacy for quality service.
People are whispering here, those are donations. No, if they are donations and they think they can dump here in Uganda, let us reject those bad quality donations.
Office of the Prime Minister is a government ministry through which leadership of the ministers under the executive arm of government is provided. The Prime Minister is the leader of government business in Parliament, established by the Constitution of Uganda under Article 108, commonly known as OPM, as per its acronym. The office is made up of various directorates, including strategic coordination and implementation, monitoring and evaluation. Others are the Directorate of Disaster Preparedness, Management and Refugees, Special Programs for Northern Uganda, Karamoja, Luero, Rwenzori and Teso Sub-Regions Affairs.
A Prime Minister's office is mandated to finance all calamities in the country.
Quite big shoes that Robinana Banja is fitting in day by day. Her recent visit to the Central District of Kayunga is clear portrayal of how most people in Uganda describe her: down to earth. She was here to assess the extent of rising water levels on Lake Victoria, Seziwa and Nile rivers, when there was no other immediate available means of transport. She took a motorcycle, commonly known as Boda Boda. This she did so she could see and feel for herself the plight of the people here.
I saw the whole Right Honorable Prime Minister of this country get on a Bajaj to go and execute a mission. And I think that's the kind of heart that we must have. And Ugandans must learn to pray for their leaders.
But what explains this commitment, flexibility, and being so down to earth? It is something that has a bearing on her early life and career. This commitment has seen her steer the cabinet to the satisfaction of both members of parliament and cabinet ministers.
And she's ready to take on the mafias, and I think that is the kind of character that we need. It is all upon our government now to make sure that they support the Right Honorable Robinana Banja, give her the necessary security.
We have been working together on so many issues relating to the parish model. So she's not a person that sleeps on the job.
I have a constituent who has consistently sent messages to me saying that I wish all leaders were like Right Honorable Robinana Banja.
As to whether she has stepped on any toes, knowingly or unknowingly, it is none of her business. All that she gives priority to is quality service.
We want to account for every penny that is given in service to our people. 3, we need to really be transparent.
Recent reports in the print media associated her with nepotism and lack of cooperation with fellow cabinet members. But none of these will stop her from doing what she feels is constitutionally right.
And now my advice to the Prime Minister has been turned around to reflect a lot of insinuation and many lies have been added on it. It is very disappointing for the Observer newspaper to have come up with all those publications which are really unprofessional.
The information is we are going to make a environment of 5 billion and remain with 10 billion. This 5 billion is going to do all that I've talked about. 10 billion, we are going to use it to buy food so that our communities that are affected can have something to eat.
Where does she derive all this bravery, energy, and level of tolerance? It all centers on how she kickstarts her day with physical fitness. By so doing, she is able to physically and mentally nourish her body and spirit to do what she loves doing, delivering national service. Robinana Banja is also the woman member of parliament for Kakumiro district. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okurut, for taking us down 3 months with the Prime Minister of Uganda, Mrs. Robina Nabanja. Now, moving on from that wonderful piece, Karamoja sub-region has started receiving food relief from government, starting with Kabong district with 1,000 tons of maize flour and 300 tons of beans. This follows a presidential directive to office of the Prime Minister to secure food for Karamoja after leaders in the region raised concerns to him. The food was handed over to the Minister of Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goret Kitutu, by the State Minister for Disaster, Esther Anyekun, at Kabong Secondary School in Kabong district.
Government has started giving relief food to Karamoja communities affected by scarcity of food. Kabong district is the most affected by food scarcity due to insecurity in the area. Food shortage in Karamoja is mainly due to climate change, which led to poor harvest and insecurity, where most people cannot access gardens, and some who manage to maintain some gardens have had wild animals like elephants damaging them.
Sidok sub-county and Lolele sub-counties. These are areas where reported destruction of farmlands by wild animals in the district. We have got elephants even going as far as East constituency in Timu sub-county and in Kamion sub-county.
The problem of hunger in our sub-county is most people dig their gardens, but at the end, rain did not come and the whole place dried. And people who dig anything did not germinate from their garden.
Now, food has been secured through a presidential directive to the people of Karamoja and Kabong, being the first beneficiary. The State Minister for Disaster, Esther Anyekun, says the food is expected to enhance the Karamojong livelihoods as they prepare gardens for their own.
For Kabong right now we have proposed 1,000 tons of posho and then 300 metric tons of beans.
The Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Mary Goret Kitutu, says more food will come to Kabong as need arises.
First 5, then 3 will also be loaded to come to make 8. Yeah. This is for Kabong.
To warn the district authorities on selling relief food.
Chief Administrative Officer, ensure that this food reaches the community.
Indeed.
The sub-counties who then have to give them to the community at the grassroots level. I don't want to find this food again in the shops in Kabong.
Leaders were grateful for the timely relief, promising to complement by growing fast-maturing crops.
We would like to thank His Excellency the President and the Office of the Prime Minister for responding the price of the people of Kabong.
Kabong district is destined to receive more food relief from government. Maureen Yeager compiled this report.
Uganda Revenue Authority URA, in cooperation with other 27 development partners, have donated a motorboat and 70 life jackets to Bwama Primary School, Kabale District. State Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives David Bahati received 10 million Ugandan shillings to facilitate the operations of the motorboat for safety of the school children. We have details from our reporter.
Help our children access
Children who previously feared crossing Lake Bunyonyi to go to school can now celebrate, following a donation of a motorboat for their safe navigation. The Minister of State for Trade, also a born of the area, David Bahati, explains that the boat made in Uganda was bought at 115 million.
We are really very grateful for the partners of URA for raising this boat, and as a community, we commit that we will look after it to perform the purpose for which it has been donated to us. But also government is doing all it can to ensure that we have enough infrastructure to help not only Bwama Primary School, but also the community around this area and the district and the region. For that matter, government has already approved 98 million US dollars to construct Kabale Lake Bunyonyi Road and also put 2 ferries on Lake Bunyonyi. We have also secured a speed motorboat through Ministry of Works, which also will be coming here.
Bahati, also the area Member of Parliament, assured the public that government is doing its best to have enough infrastructure to help the community in the sub-region enjoy. The minister also disclosed that government has secured a speedboat through the Ministry of Works that will be offered and used at the lake to help the community and the children in hurry. The Commissioner General, Uganda Revenue Authority, John Mosinguzi, said the challenges the school children of Bwama Primary School have been going through to cross the island was being addressed.
The students of Bwama Primary School were going through to cross to the island, and it was very moving that on some bad days they would miss school because the small canoes could not go through this lake. So against that call, Uganda Revenue Authority committed to rally its partners, taxpayers and others who we work with closely, so as to raise money from them for the sake of supporting this noble cause among the community of this area. And this money has been put together. Our partners, different taxpayers, contributed over 73 million shillings, and we also added on another 40 million, and it's against that collection that we're able to buy this boat, some life jackets and the engine. We have today handed it over officially to the Bwama Primary School and the community.
The headmaster, Bwama Primary School, Robert Kanyoma, said the school was founded on Bwama Island, previously used as an isolation center for those with leprosy.
Risked their lives using small dugout canoes to travel to and from school, and at times not able to travel at all when the weather on the lake could not permit passage. The Global Livingstone Institution and the Bulamo Community Foundation announced a community-wide initiative to offer transportation services to our school children. This one they are handing over to the school today.
Uganda Revenue Authority, in cooperation with 27 development partners, handed over the boats at a ceremony conducted at Bunyonyi Safaris Resort in Mwenda Parish, Chitumba Sub-County, Kabale District.
I want to take the opportunity to thank the URA for supporting us here on this boat, because we have been having this challenge of children crossing this lake to Bwama Primary School. So we want to thank the URA for supporting us on transport. Secondly, I want to thank the guest of honor, Honorable Minister Bahati, for the good work. And I want to thank His Excellency General Kaguta Museveni for appointing Honorable Bahati to be a minister and his fit for that ministry. So I thank you, and I want to assure you that we shall protect this boat to make sure that our children can move to school smoothly.
Amina Nabule Kajimu, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Amina Nabule. In more stories, a trainer at Medicare Health Professionals College, Dr. Alexander Bidiabadema, says herbal concoctions for treatment of our teeth are becoming dangerous and is to be regulated by the National Bureau of Standards. This was during a week-long medical camp for Lubaga Division residents at the college premises near Mengo Hospital.
College finalists have organized a health camp that attracted hundreds of people. The camp is meant to give back to the community as a corporate social responsibility to parents and well-wishers of the Health Trainers College. Medicare Health Professionals College finalists are mainly handling teeth as one of the health burdens.
I think the community has ignored so much things concerning tooth decay. Majorly what causes tooth decay is the environment we are in. Majorly the foodstuffs we eat. Like, people have ignored oral hygiene. Some people, even the black tea we take majorly can cause tooth decay. But most people think only the sweets, yet not, even the meals we have.
To have an outreach, we've decided today to help our community concerning dental issues. We have decided to do scaling, polishing, some fillings.
Okay, most people
they assume once a tooth has a problem, it has to come out. Yet that is not the case. So sometimes we have to tell them that even if the tooth has a cavity, it has not reached its end. It can still be restored, it can still be reserved.
The team leader, Medcare Medical Camp, Alexander Bilyabalema, says tooth decay is preventable through regular brushing of the tooth.
We advise professionally that members of the community should have periodical dental checkups for professional advice.
Alexander Bilyabalema says many Ugandans are used to traditional herbal concoctions that have irreversible impact on users' dental formula.
Where people go and look for their own medication from these unprofessional members of the community who are looking for money or trying to help in their own way, then at times we find when the condition of teeth have been damaged beyond repair. For example, yes, some of their concoctions can mask sensitivity or feeling. And when a tooth is beginning to decay, it begins with a loss of sensitivity. Now, when you mask the sensitivity, the infection continues to eat the tooth continues to break down. By the time a patient realizes that the tooth is gone, the tooth cannot be repaired.
Roger Skiza is one of the finalists at the college who warns against plucking of false teeth, explaining that this causes harm to the children.
What happens is when they remove the dropping tooth, that means that tooth will never come in their lives. So it is always better they do management of the signs and let the tooth come out, because this is a natural teeth. These are the teeth we are going to have. So most especially they're always canine. So when you remove the false teeth, you find people don't have they have missing teeth like canines, and that is what always happens in their RHIL. And you ask them, they tell you they have never had them before.
The health outreach under the theme Health Teeth, Retaining Our Dental Formula has attracted over 500 patients from Lubaga Division. Treatment offered at the health camp includes extraction, scaling, polishing, fillings and sensitization on maintenance of clean health teeth. Douglas Setumba compiled this report.
Such a beautiful story in giving back to community. Now, Presidential Affairs Committee Chairperson Jessica Ababika has advised beneficiaries of poverty alleviation development programs to embrace items given to them with utmost care. Ababika raised this concern during the visit of the committee into Chuse Parish model in Nakaseke district. Tanaba has a detailed report on this story.
Parliamentary Presidential Committee headed by Jessica Ababika toward Chichusa Model Village in Kasana in Nakaseke district to evaluate the performance of the support to the area.
Performing at a fairly good level, because if a farmer rose from a level of illiteracy to a level of a manager, and also owning a few things that can help him or herself. For me, that is where I derive my success. So we have to work together. But also the district has to ensure mainstreaming of these activities. If you are going to supervise a project in village A, you should also go and see what is happening there.
A senior presidential advisor on poverty alleviation department, Joan Kakwazire, explained that this low performance is due to attitude and bad politics.
Biggest challenge is adaptability. People adapt projects at different paces. You have some who are running, you have some who are moderate, but you also have those who say, Temunta wanya. Don't disturb me. You give him something, he sells it. You don't give him something, he reports you that you didn't give him. So they are there. Eh?
But at the President's demonstration garden, they have come to see what is on the President's demo garden, if it is replicated on the farmers' farms.
However, these say there is still need for more funds due to limited budget to overcome the challenges encountered.
I have field officers who don't have even motorcycles to go to homesteads. They do footwork, they walk. But because we are committed workers, we tell them work for the nation. That's why When they tell me employ people with diplomas, sometimes I go lower because I can't afford them. Another challenge I have is that I've tried to say, if you add on more model villages, add more money. But the money that we had for 5 villages is the one supposed to go around to the 27.
Because of the resources, the meager resources we get from Parliament or from the President's vote, we buy a few to be distributed to a few farmers who are eager or who are willing to work, much as many people would like to get.
The area chairperson, Lawrence Chibidige, said that there has been transformation of people's lives financially.
I should ask for the government to first sensitize a youth who can understand pig, let him involved in pig. Who understand the cow should be involved in the cow.
This program has helped me a great deal to improve on my earning, and we receive training from the field officers and other people, the technocrats, on how to manage better our crops, and our income has gone up now.
Ekyamazima project ya pad yansanga sina bwendi nga ntandika butandise ekyalo kati nina wentuuse okusinzira kwa nsobola okufuna millions za nga 12,800 omwezi.
However, the woman member of parliament, Nakaseke district, Sarah Najuma, says there is need for community inclusion for locals to benefit.
I take this opportunity to thank the government for the different programs that we've got as Nakaseke district. My advice is that we should bring all leadership on board. Then also all programs should be incorporated within the district structures so that we can get easy follow-up.
The Poverty Alleviation Department started in Chichusa Model Parish with 120 households benefiting in the initiative. At least 82 cows, 1,050 goats, 252 pigs, among other enterprises, have been given to beneficiaries. Sandra Kahunde, Kenneth Tanaba, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Sandra Kahunde and Kenneth Tanaba. In more news, 10 technical and vocational education institutions have received ICT equipment as a response to the disruption of COVID-19 pandemic on education system and improving quality of TVET in Uganda. Now, the Director Education Standards of the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Kedros Tuliagenda, says that the donation is timely in addressing continuous learning issues. Details follow.
It is now close to 2 years when former looking at chalkboards was disrupted at the wake of COVID-19 lockdown, which is threatening human existence world over. Uganda education system is one of the worst hit, with many learners unable to access any form of learning while at home. Now, the Better Education for Africa's Rise to project, a joint initiative of United Nations Education Scientific and Culture Organization, UNESCO, and the Republic of Korea have come out handy to support technical and vocational education training with ICT equipment to boost online digital learning.
Skills acquisition help to reduce unemployment, particularly among youth. Skills help generate income and support livelihoods of individuals, families, and of entire communities. As such, TVET has the potential to be a key driver of overall economic growth and well-being for all.
Receiving from UNESCO and handing over the consignment to the 10 benefiting institutions, the Education Standards Director at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Kedros Tuliagenda, is impressed to the gesture, saying COVID-19 stripped the education sector.
As you are aware, this pandemic affected the whole globe, and about 1.2 billion learners across the globe were affected, and as institutions and schools closed. Here in Uganda, about 15 million learners went home early last year, because of the pandemic. But learning has to continue, and we are grateful that these ICTs have come around and can make it possible for us to keep learning.
Dr. Tuliagenda is happy that this is going to strengthen technical training, especially to the selected agriculture institutions.
But what we are doing in education is to give now learners the skills, as you've heard, so that they are available, because the human resource, the human resource capacity is very, very critical in doing anything.
Representing the ambassador of the Republic of Korea to Uganda, His Excellency Ha Byun-cho, a research specialist at the embassy, Tonya Alade, says Korea's bilateral mission with Uganda is to develop the rural sector.
I believe that Uganda can achieve its industrialization agenda for inclusive growth, employment, and wealth creation by adequately, skillfully, and strategically training her abundant labor force.
The ICT equipment is targeting the agriculture sector with the overall objective of supporting national authorities together with the private sector to improve the relevancy, quality, and improving perception of agro-processing and post-harvest management training. In line with strengthening quality of business, technical, vocational, educational and training, BITVET, the Ministry of Education and Sports, and UNESCO are strengthening the use of ICT in BITVET.
Government is doing its best to ensure that learning continues, and we shouldn't be surprised to see that learning physically in schools.
UNESCO together handed over 21 laptops, 4 smart interactive boards, 21 projectors, and 21 external storage devices to support management and teaching in 10 relevant BITVET institutions.
Managing COVID-19 era calls for a collective effort among all stakeholders to ensure sustainability. It is for this reason that women in Kampala and neighboring areas have been sharing ways of managing their families as COVID-19-induced lockdowns on schools continues to bite. The Reverend Canon Mirembe Nkesiga of St. Francis Kabanyoro spoke at the function and advised parents to play their roles in managing their families.
And we realize that many times our image is distorted by the world because the world is broken. When God brings us into the world, we are complete human beings with a purpose. But because the world is broken and its systems are broken, many times you can be derailed from your purpose. And we are telling women, rise in your purpose. You have value. You have something to give to the world, and you have an input in healing the world, in bringing healing and reconciliation in the world. People are busy helping women to understand their value, but I'm challenging men to understand their value. Because if a man understands his value, he would respect his daughter, he would respect a younger girl, he would respect himself by acting in ways that do not exclude the woman, that do not hurt the woman, that do not, I don't know what to say, injure the woman in any way. So it takes both the man and the woman to be healthy and whole for us to change mindsets, to limit these pregnancies, unwanted pregnancies, the rapes that have gone on, and defilement.
Well, let's take a short commercial break and we'll be back with stories from business, that is workers' rights, oil and gas, and so much more.
I smile when I think of you, Uganda, my home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda, my home. Oh, my Uganda.
I know, with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together, my home. On my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama. At
MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Get vaccinated today so we can get closer to the normal way of life. Echa COVID-19 chija kugwa.
Switch to Airtel, Uganda's only 100% 4G network, and get 50% data bonus on all bundles purchased using Airtel Money. Visit the nearest Airtel shop with a valid national ID to buy a SIM card today. For business entities, please share an email with business.support@ug.airtel.com. Enjoy the best rates on calls, SMS, data, and Airtel Money across Uganda on your preferred number. Subject to availability. 50% data bonus is valid till 15th November 2021. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
My home, I smile when I think of you, Uganda. My home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda. My home, oh my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home, under the sun so bright, under the moon at night, on my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In our business stories, the Industrial National Coordinating Council of Uganda under the Industrial Global Union has met with the Labour Office of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, seeking a legal way forward on how to achieve justice for workers in various foreign and locally industries in Uganda. About 10 industries operating in Mukono, Bweyogere and Bugolobi are being accused of denying their workers the right to join labour unions, a state which leaves them unrepresented at the mercy of their employers. We have a detailed report from Mark Wadula.
Following non-compliance by several industries to recognize labour unions, the Industrial National Coordinating Council of Uganda under the Industrial Global Union is seeking legal guidance from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development on how to represent the workers in these industries.
There are various employers that have rejected to recognize the union, despite the letter that was written by the Director of Labour, who is also the Registrar of Labour Union in Uganda. So we have met the Director of Labour and we have agreed on some action that we are going to take together.
The unionists are assured that meeting with the Labour Office at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development will yield proactive measures in enabling thousands of industrial workers in Uganda gain productive employment, especially because most are working under precarious terms.
They don't respect the laws, yet we are supposed by law to enter these places and talk to the workers and sensitize the workers. So it is very difficult to break through. Even where the government has come in to request them to recognize union, they have also refused it, you see. So that's where we are.
A big percentage of Uganda's industrial workers are employed as casual laborers who earn unfair piece rates.
Let me just request all researchers to go in the field and research how much is the government losing as revenue from employees. Because many Ugandan workers are underpaid, as our sister said, that they are going under precarious work. I think if they put it aside, it's a way of supporting that Ugandans should not pay taxes.
When ununionized, they fall prey to exploitative employment that does not guarantee their economic well-being and occupational safety.
We have resolved that a meeting will be organized by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to meet all the Chinese associations in Uganda, including that of the Indian Association, and also the local investors. We have also resolved that this matter should be taken to industrial court with immediate effect.
Despite meeting and listening to the requests of the Industrial National Coordinating Council of Uganda, Martin Wandera, the Director for Labour, Employment and Occupational Safety and Health, preferred not to make a media statement before the matter gains solid momentum. Wadulo Makanold, UBC News.
Be alert. Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
I smile when I think of you, Uganda, my home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda, my home. Oh, my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know.
My home, smile when I think of you, Uganda, my home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda, my home, oh my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home, under the sun so bright, under the moon at night, on my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Nature that nurtures our life on Earth determines the geographical surrounding that should be protected and preserved by the community.
This is the time we partner with UBC and protect the environment.
Our Environment is a program that will showcase the importance of human responsibility in a healthy environment, that is to say, conservation, waste management and recycling, disease prevention, biogas to mention but a few.
Support the program Our Environment on UBC.
Inspiring Uganda. That is to say, conservation, waste management and recycling, disease prevention, biogas to mention but a few.
Support the program Our Environment on UBC.
Inspiring Uganda.
Be alert. Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Now, Prime Minister Dr. Robin Nabanja has visited Changwali refugee settlement in Chikube district, and the Premier is in company of Ministers Judith Nabakova for Land, State Minister for Disaster Preparedness is Esther Anyikun, State Minister for Public Service Grace Mary Mugase, and Minister of State for Works Fred Byamukama. Her timely visit comes after a series of reported land disputes between refugees and bona fide occupants who were evicted in 2013 off the land to resettle Congolese refugees, Sudanese, Rwandese and Ethiopians. Helen Barbara Gizamba reports.
Prime Minister Robin Nabanja has been in Chikube district to meet local leaders on simmering land conflicts, mainly around Changwali refugee settlement. The Premier's visit has also been hinged on reported tension between refugees and residents over land rights. Residents claim some of the Changwali settlement commandants are fueling the disputes.
The Prime Minister is here. The former Prime Minister was here. I want to Babukinda Vaingi, who have been here. The Reverend Father, who was here before 1955, has all the information. People were here hunting, grazing, originals who have been here, who were taken back to a place which is dry, with nowhere to cultivate. And you stand and say people are peaceful? When you're a human being, that there is no problem at all, really, John. Let's go to Buchinda together and you tell the people of Buchinda that they are okay.
After the meeting at OPM offices in Changwali, the Premier decided to visit Buchinda Parish, one of the areas at the center of the conflict. The Premier halted illegal construction on her way to Buchinda Parish.
Are you aware this land is under dispute and that the President directed otherwise? Have you seen the presidential directive? I have no problem us settling people, refugees here. No problem at all. It is for our strategic intentions that we help humanity. But you cannot make our people look like funny. You demolish their permanent structures. And in the same place, you put other people. How would, if it were your father, how would you feel? You. If it were your sister, these people were struggling to survive. How would you feel? You are erecting these small structures now because you were told I'm coming. It's not good. You are aware there is a directive from the President that this land should not be occupied as of now as we settle the dispute. Are you not aware? Where is the hurry when we still have other big chunks of land elsewhere? You are aware this land is under dispute. True or false? And they said that the status quo remain as we settle this issue. Are you not aware? Where is your hurry? Couldn't you put these people in other pieces of land which are empty as we wait to hear the other side of the coin? Where is the hurry? I want to know who gave you a directive to do this. I want to know who gave you a and I must have a written directive. I want to know who is bigger than the President. The President gives a directive and you do otherwise. For how long will you keep the President? A President's directive is a President's directive. So stop construction now.
In Bukinda area, some of the bona fide occupants demanded that government accords them ownership of the land they claim to have acquired since 1920s, 1955 and 1970s.
But refugees, about the Bubukwanga, the Bakalete Gulo, they again the Bubukwanga, those Abambali Wanovandaba, Bali Bakaja, Okuba DRC Congo, Gabaka Babalete Wano. The two government Nakuza COVID, they don't get them already were COVID. The Vasikala, the two government Banwala, Okwa Janjava, Bafnene vaccine, Abasinga, Natavana Kualeta Wano. Gati, Babalete Wano.
Etaka lino lichaliko dispute olaba abantu bali wano okuva ku miremba ana abiri so babasenze walala siwano
The Minister for Lands, Judith Namakova, ordered that the 1998 boundaries fixed by OPM be opened with immediate effect. She said the land conflicts in Chukube should come to an end so that people settle and develop their area.
Kati twagala tukomewo tulabe abo bonna be mwogera abalina ebyapa abakola ki bagwaluddawa ekyo kyonna okukituukako obulungi nga tumaze okukola kye bayita boundary opening era nga kijja kuba kikolebwa njagala okubakakasa awo ripooti yaffe tugikwase maama right honorable prime minister.
Government gazetted Changwali refugee settlement camp in 1966, and the settlement is on 142 square miles with a population of over 210,000 refugees. Helen Barbara Jizamba reporting for UBC TV News.
A second half brace by substitute Hasifa Nasuna for a 5-1 victory over Eswatini has given Uganda's Crested Cranes its first win at the COSAFA Championship that has entered day 6 in South Africa. Uganda got off to a flying start with Joan Nabidi and Ritisha Nabose scoring for a halftime 2-0 lead. In the second stanza, Eswatini showed signs of crawling back into the game, but when Sandra Nabweteme struck a wonderfully taken third goal for the Crested Cranes, nerves settled, and this was followed by the Nasuna brace to complete the wallop. Uganda is now sitting comfortable in Group C with 4 points after this win, and that draws against Namibia. Next opponent will be Zambia for a place into the next round at this tournament of 12 teams. Uganda is just a guest at this championship that they are using as preparation for upcoming Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers.
She's able to get behind Willily and Twantwe. Lots of defenders to deal with still. Cuts inside, cuts outside. Finds the left-hand post for Eswatini. Past Lamini. And Uganda have once again reinstated their 2-goal advantage.
Well, thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Chomjisha with Mugalu Muhammad on Sign Language. Have a lovely night from the team and analysts. Because it's a rainy season, please don't forget to carry your umbrella wherever you go. Have a lovely night.
Vaccinated today so we can get closer to the normal way of life. Echa COVID-19 chija kugwa.